So today is another food experiment. I had an idea for peanut butter and jelly eclairs. I love eclairs. Eclairs are one of my all-time favorite pastries. Another one of my favorite things are peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I think a lot of people can relate to that. I mean, as a kid, you love peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and as an adult, I still love it. It makes me feel like being a kid. So I thought it might be kind of fun to marry the two. First, I made a strawberry diplomat cream, and diplomat cream is pastry cream mixed with whipped cream. And in this case, I did a strawberry flavored one. Then I did a peanut butter glaze, and then I did a classic pastry shell, pâté à choux, for the eclair shells. So I'm really excited to show this to you. Let's get baking. All right, let's start our pastry cream by getting our puree ready. I did 1 cup of frozen strawberries. You can use fresh, but I find that the frozen strawberries that are partially defrosted make a much smoother puree. Let's set this aside to continue defrosting while we make our pastry cream. In a saucepan, we're going to add 2 cups of milk over medium heat, and we're going to heat this till it's steamy and bubbly, not boiling. While that's heating in another bowl, we're going to add our 6 egg yolks, 2/3 cup sugar, and we're going to whisk this until pale yellow and smooth. Next, we're going to add 1/4 cup of cornstarch. This is going to be kind of gummy and pasty, but you want to whisk vigorously until it's smooth and free of lumps. Once the milk is steamy and bubbly, like right here, we're going to slowly ladle in about 1/2 cup of the milk. We're going to do this slowly to temper the egg yolks. Once that's completely mixed in, we're going to add in the rest of the milk. Next, we're going to strain the mixture back into the pot to catch any pieces of cooked egg, which is totally normal to find. It doesn't mean you messed up or anything. Next, we're going to add in our strawberry puree, and we're going to heat this over medium-high heat until it's boiling and thickened. Once you start seeing the bubbles, you're going to have just a couple of seconds before it turns into a thick mixture just like this. Once we reach this consistency, remove from the heat and throw in 1 tablespoon of cold butter. Whisk until completely smooth. Next, we're going to transfer this into a bowl, cover with saran wrap to prevent any skin from forming, give it about an hour to come to room temperature, and then into the fridge for 4 hours to completely cool. And now we can start preparing our pastry shells. I learned this trick from another video. I'm taking some parchment paper and I'm going to draw lines that are going to help guide me piping out this pastry dough. I did 4-inch lines spaced about 2 inches apart. When ready to use, we're going to flip this upside down to not get any ink on the dough. In a saucepan over high heat, we're going to add 1/2 cup of whole milk, 1/2 cup of water, 1/4 teaspoon salt, 1/4 teaspoon sugar, and 1/2 cup of unsalted butter. We're going to heat this over high heat until the mixture is boiling and the butter is completely melted. Once boiling, we're going to add 1 cup of flour. We're going to mix this until it's completely combined. Then we're going to turn this down to low heat and continue cooking for 5 minutes, stirring constantly. Next, we're going to transfer this into a stand mixer. If you don't have a stand mixer, that's fine. You can use a hand mixer. We're going to run this at low speed for 5 minutes to cool off the dough. Next, we're going to add in our 5 eggs one at a time. Wait for each egg to be completely mixed in before adding the next. The mixture is going to look a little funny at first, like it's not really combined that well, but once all the eggs are combined, we're going to be left with a very nice smooth paste. Next, we're going to transfer the dough to a piping bag using a large French star tip. These are pretty easy to find on Amazon and not very expensive. I like to use a tall glass for the pastry bag, but you can do whatever's easiest for you. But let's get all of that dough into the pastry bag. Pinch the dough closer down toward the tip. That's going to help for twisting the top of the pastry bag. Then we're going to add a little dollop on every corner of the cookie sheet. This is going to help the parchment paper stick. So this is actually my first time ever piping out eclair pastry shells. This is definitely a technique you have to practice over time, so don't feel bad if they don't look perfect, because mine certainly did not this time. Baking the shells is the trickiest part of the process. We're going to first start at 425 for 15 minutes, then turn down to 375 for another 15 minutes. Do not open the oven door during this process. Use the window to look for a deep golden brown color. Before going in the oven, we're going to brush these with a nice egg wash. So this next step is very crucial. When the pastry shells come out, we're going to poke them on either end with a toothpick or a skewer to let the steam escape. If we don't do that, then the shells will collapse. This is the color that you're looking for. Now we're going to poke the holes on either end, or you can do the bottom of the shell. Just a caution, these are very hot, so if it's too hot for you, you can put them on the sheet like this and then just poke it from either end. I made another batch of mini eclairs just to practice a little more. Now we can start the peanut butter glaze. We're going to add 1 cup plus 1 tablespoon of powdered sugar, 3 tablespoons of powdered peanut butter. I use the PB2 brand, but you can use any brand. Just make sure you get these nice and combined before adding the milk. I measured out 5 tablespoons of milk because I really wasn't sure how much it was going to take. 3 tablespoons wound up being the magic number. Now we're looking for a texture that isn't too runny but isn't too thick. This is what we're looking for right here. Next, we're going to make our stabilized whipped cream for our diplomat cream. We're going to take 1 cup of heavy cream and this product called Whip It. This helps stabilize the whipped cream to keep it firm and not thin and runny over time. Then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of powdered sugar and mix at high speed until we reach nice stiff peaks of whipped cream. Now we need to get the pastry cream out of the fridge and revive it. We need to take a whisk and start mixing this together. It's going to look a little funky, a really gross kind of texture like this, but just keep going, get that elbow grease in there, and you're going to get a nice creamy consistency like this. Now we want to fold in our whipped cream. It's important to fold because we're trying to keep this cream nice and light. If you just stir it with a spoon like normal, you're going to get a really thin and runny consistency. We're looking for something nice, light, and creamy just like this. Now we want to fill a pastry bag with the diplomat cream. Now the tip here isn't as important as it was with the Eclairs. You can use kind of any small pastry tip. I just happen to have a longer pastry tip like this that's designed for filling, but it's not necessary. The trick here, and it takes a little practice, is just to pay attention to the weight as you're filling the pastry shell with the cream. This is going to be your guide to let you know how much is in there. It's okay if a little squeezes out, you can just wipe off the ends. Once they're all filled, we're going to start dipping these into the peanut butter glaze. You want to dip these top side down and then shake off any excess glaze. I'm placing these on a cookie sheet because once we dip these, I'm going to put them in the fridge so the glaze has a chance to solidify a little bit. And into the fridge they go. Like I said, this is my first time piping out Eclairs, but I think these came out quite pretty for the first time.
Oh my God. I really want you guys to make this recipe. This is phenomenal. Oh my God. These are insane. Like, these are insane. This is ridiculously good. The diplomat cream tastes very much like strawberry ice cream. The peanut butter glaze is just awesome. The two marry together like peanut butter and jelly. Strawberry and peanut butter just seem to go together. The shells came out perfect. They're light, crisp, airy. It's just the perfect vessel for this dessert. I'm so excited about these. I'm like legit really excited about this recipe. I really hope you enjoyed this video. The recipe link will be in the description, so hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and keep cooking.